My name is Annie Heiderscheit. I am a music therapist. I've been a music therapist for 27 years. I direct the music therapy programs at Augsburg University. And in addition to being a music therapist, I'm also licensed as a marriage and family therapist. I've worked in a variety of clinical settings, primarily medical, mental health, addictions, eating disorders, and worked with really complex clients in mental health and medical settings, and have done research with all of those client populations as well. Music and health and well-being are so beautifully intertwined. You have to explore and understand your relationship with music, so that when you are working with people and using music as a means of healing, that you understand it on a deeper level. Because without that, I think we don't fully understand the depth of impact that music has. As a music therapist, I use music in every possible way to influence health and well-being, whether that be using imagery where someone can experience the natural environment even when they're not in that environment, when they can discover a sense of purpose, a sense of community in making music with others, or using music in and of itself to influence health through relaxation, or how we use music to influence the body. So we can use it in all of these different ways, as well as impact our relationships, using it as a means of connecting to others, communicating with others. All of these dimensions factor into our well-being, and we can use music as a way of impacting all of those dimensions as well. Where it happened for me clinically as a music therapist is as I began to work with clients to see how music touched them so deeply, how they were able to connect with a part of themselves that they hadn't been able to otherwise. And I began to recognize even again how deeply music touched other people in a clinical setting, and how this was early on in my career, how I needed to know more as a music therapist. I needed to know more about what was happening in the music, that it could impact us so deeply, and how I could then help people process that even further. We have tended in our healthcare system to treat symptomology, to treat symptoms that our clients experience. And what we have often failed to do, or we've not gone far enough, is to get to the issues underlying. So people are using drugs, alcohol, for a reason. We work to get people to abstain, but too often we're not getting to what has gotten them to the point of being addicted to the substance. So whether that's trauma, whether that is an inability to cope, or whether it is pain. So I see an intertwined relationship between all of these. But the key piece that I have found in working with these clients and doing research in these areas is to ensure that we get to the issues underlying it. If we don't get to the underlying issues, it's like putting a Band-Aid on an open, gaping wound. It won't suffice. What I really would like to see is that we are coming together as interprofessionals, interdisciplinary teams, really working collaboratively to really address these kind of chronic health issues that are persisting in our culture. And within that, really taking this multi-pronged approach, that we are looking at someone's overall well-being, so that we're looking at all of these dimensions of their life, and not leaving any stone unturned, because for someone to be their healthiest, the healthiest and best version of themselves, we need to address all of these aspects, which that means a very holistic approach. It means we do have to look at physical issues, at physical health. We need to look at mental health. We need to look at relationships. We need to ensure that people have that sense of purpose, that there's any unresolved issues get resolved. If we could create health care to best serve the needs of our patients, set everything else aside, what would that look like? Given what we all know about working with clients, what we've seen with the clients that we've worked with, what we've discovered in our research, what would that look like? And be willing to get out of the box, go to the drawing board, and start to scratch it out, and begin to look at how do we start the process of doing that. it's tricky to get out of the box, but I think if we can come together and work collectively to do that, and then begin to lay out what might some of those first steps be. Is that, designing a pilot study? What might that look like to begin that process? But I think having that openness to dialogue, explore the possibilities, letting go of the constraints that we've had in healthcare for too long, and stepping away from those and dreaming of the possibilities to best serve our patients and our clients.